So once a year, I do open studios, and it's a great thing. I put all my orange arrows all over town. 280 something artists this year, and I invite them to my home, and they come down this side gate, past the mysterious blue tarp, and the birds of paradise. Yes, Auntie. And around and to the garden, and here's my studio. We'll go this way. And everything's blooming at this time of year, and I'm so excited because a lot of people come. The reason I'm shooting this video is because some of my good friends couldn't come, so I like to post on YouTube so that everyone can enjoy. So this year I brought art outside, and you might recognize this one, Goya's cat from the San Francisco Art Fair. Still one of my all-time favorites. And I had a monitor going with my drawings happening on it. And a lot of this stuff's on my website. There's Witch. And I also, outside, I had the comedy paintings up, the laughter series, which you guys can see on the Throckmorton Theater YouTube channel, or my movie on my YouTube channel. Oh, really fun. I loved pulling these out and seeing them again. There's people laughing. It was a fun project. And I still own them. So now we can go inside to the House of D. So there's a lot to see. I'll be brief, but I wanted to share what happens at Open Studios with people who have not been here before or would like to know. I organize a show on these walls, and then a lot of paintings in bins, and people can thumb through and pick out, just look for things that they like. It's very fun. So, I'll give a quick tour, okay? Because I know everybody's got somewhere to be. This is some stuff from the Idaho trip this year. There's Hawaii in here, there's Idaho. This is right up on the hill last fall. This is my persimmon tree. About 15 feet from where I'm standing, these beautiful persimmons grow. These are some of the little 6x9s that I paint before I do a sitting with a model. I'll just do some little warm-up paintings, and some of them really have some nice energy and sometimes turn into bigger paintings. And I do a painting from a painting, which is fun. This is Mendocino, or no, Fort Bragg up north along the California coast at sunrises just coming up. Beautiful ocean, rocky bluffs. Here's a little 6x9 warm-up. Funny little face. It's interesting what ends up on the wall during the show. I like the graphic quality of this one. Here's a little China camp painting. Trying to paint sunlight, just last light. I've been working on, I've painted these rocks so many times, and you'll see another one at the end of the wall. They're giant, and it's really hard to capture the scale, because if you notice the bottom of that painting, that reddish rock, I can barely reach the top of that when I'm standing. In fact, sometimes I stand on top of that rock and paint the opposite direction. Here's one I did down in Arizona called Sassy. She had some killer hair. And there's hard to look at these, isn't it? At this angle. Another little warm-up. Oops, sorry. This is that same fire road during fall color. We get like one tree that has fall color here. No, that's not true. But a lot of redwood trees, so we don't get a lot of that beautiful autumn color that, I mean fall color that the east gets. But still, I was really trying to, I love the surface. Juicy. And this is right in my front yard. Yeah, it's a flower, but still, it's a challenge to paint, and it's beautiful. This is called Red Boots. I love her face. Signy, yeah. Good painting. Sometimes I'm amazed myself. I often ask, who did that? I like that one. Who did that? Why is that in my closet? It's called Shadow Dancer. Just trying to paint the shadow coming over the hill. This is a recent painting. Pretty big, 19 by 24, the biggest one I've ever painted outside. And I really wanted to capture the moment of the wave hitting. I love this shadow in here. That's a really nice little area. I've never watched one of my YouTube movies, so I hope they don't jiggle all around. Kind of ridiculous to do this, but still you get a feel for what, you know, get a feel for what I'm doing on Open Studio. And maybe next year you can come. This one's called Peach. I wonder why. This one's called Jezebel. I wonder why. And this is a beauty I painted in Wisconsin. Some people might have seen this on Facebook. And this has some really nice stuff on it. I can't believe this didn't sell yesterday, but maybe next week. I'm doing this again next weekend. A lot of people were into the figures this year, which is cool. So next weekend, this whole wall is going to change. And I'm going to do just booming figures. There's another magnolia flower. Looks very graphic on the camera here, but it's actually a lot of nice little nuance. Here's a sweet little painting of Tori. A nice space to it. Here's Leah with this really pretty yellow flower that grows in my yard. And she was wearing her mandarin dress. Here's Tori. That's a little 6x9. No, this is a little bigger than 6x9, but it was a warm-up painting for the beginning of the night. Tomorrow. And here is one of my Hawaii waves barreling. So fun to paint these. Just wow. Watching those roll in. Trying to capture that feel. The cool thing about a tube, a wave like this, is it breaks in the same spot all the time. And this is an interesting little quick study. It looks like she has a mustache, but I like it. I don't even remember who this model is, but I liked how she just stared at me. It's very challenging, or she was challenging me in some strange eye-to-eye way while I was trying to concentrate on painting. There's a little spring that pops up every winter in your beach. Here's another Hawaii one, this blowhole with a barreling wave behind it. Here's a really pretty early morning fog painting. Mendocino has kind of a Japanese quality. I don't know, maybe. It's hard to see it, sorry. I'm extending my arm as high as I can. These are way up on the wall. Here's another persimmon painting. I love this area right in here. Right in there. Here's one that's sold. Jezebel, the boat one, sold, and this boat one sold. So apparently boats are... I love this one. A lot of metaphor in here. And here's the mark that all painters like. Red dot. Thank you very much. Here's Leah again with the little blonde hair streak. She had this little hoodie on and she showed up looking all tough. And I said, oh, I love that little jacket you have on, put that on. And I like how she has this jacket, but her face has this sort of melancholy, this vulnerability. Leah's a sweet person. Here's a Alta, Utah snow painting. I love painting in the snow. My friend, mentor, and just great painter, Skip Whitcomb, is an incredible snow painter, trudging out with his snowshoes. So this is another one of those rock ones, and this is one of my more successful ones, and it has, oh, look at that, a red dot. But there's some really nice paint in here. Now there's a figure. I mean, if the figure walked into this painting, it would be about that big, right there. Teeny. Teeny. In fact, I did see a little spear fisherman go down there, and while I was packing up, and I did a quick little sketch. I might do another painting with, you know, bring some figures in there to give these rocks scale. I mean, they are gigantic. And then we go to the quiet forest. Nobody really responded to this, but I love it. It's a beautiful little quiet painting. And my fire pit. One in a series of fire pit paintings about consumption and waste. They just throw their Coke can in there, but it made a great little element. Isn't that cool? So that gave that nice fire pit some scale. So you really understood what was there. There was under this liner up here, there's this really great nail, that big thick, you know, I don't know, 30-penny nail that is pointing you down here, into here, then it goes up there, then it goes back over. It's very sophisticated composition. No, it's beautiful. It really was. I like the nail as well as the grill half submerged in the sand. Here's another little quick one of Jeanette. So, my painting racks. Here's a sweetie. This is also peach, the same model, but this is a winner. I have no problem keeping this one. I'm surprised it didn't sell, but it's a nice little painting. And you might have seen this one from the Victor, Idaho trip that I did, also on YouTube, where I described the bear habitat. But there's some really nice stuff in here too. It's great to pull these out of the cabinet and really put them in a beautiful frame. I mean, look at this. Yeah. I spent 4 days making all these liners. No seams. I do all that stuff. I've been collecting frame sources for a long time, and now I've developed relationships with these places, and I can get all this material wholesale and then build it up just like a framer, which I learned my time off from Art Center. I took a summer off and built frames for some needlepoint company. It was fun. It was a great summer. Anyway, this is Mount Diablo, part of the Save Mount Diablo series that some artists, comrades, worked on. So I went out there and I just painted for a week in Mount Diablo, and I never really explored out there. This was this beautiful little teeny spring. I painted many times from different angles. I love it with this dry grass surrounding this beautiful spring. And these are buckeye trees in the early morning. And then up here is Talia, looking a bit like Keira Knightley. I love some of this just abstract shapes, shadow patterns, and warmth. This is Marav. It's a nice 14 by 17. And then over here are some little 6 by 9s, which I haven't shared yet from my 1 month ago we came back. We went to Paris and painted. And this was all limited palette. Yellow ochre, Viridian, alizarin crimson, and cobalt blue. This is my favorite. Let's look at it again. Beautiful. I love Paris. I could live there easily. Easily. I would do it right too. Rent the heck out of my house and get a really cool apartment. And maybe even a studio. This is the view out the window of our little apartment. I just love all the angles, and it's so great. And then in the corner here I had April Shine, which you may remember from the San Francisco Art Fair, and Balzac's daughter in the corner there. So you can see the scale of the place. My studio. Here's my palette. And this was free with the purchase. Had all sorts of really great paintings in there. Oh yeah. Here's a Hawaii sunset. Had a lot of people interested in, here's a little warm-up, which I think is going to turn into a big painting. Did this the other day. I wasn't ready to go home. I saw this rock and I was like, oh, I'll paint that. A little 8 by 10. And another Hawaii wave, which I love. And here are just a few of the hats that I wear. All my stuff. Framing stuff. I can see why a lot of artists do paintings in their studio of just their space. And there's Charlotte telling us that it's all over. So next week, I'm doing it all again. And I'm going to load this room with tons of bright, different, beautiful paintings. That's my show. Thank you.